Okay, Wayne Rooney has been appointed Plymouth Argyle manager. Fan base is not happy. Social media has descended into chaos on the Argyle forums and on news websites. They're not happy. Very controversial decision to appoint him, considering what happened at Birmingham City and his short stint there, which was disastrous. Birmingham City sacked him. They ultimately got relegated. When he was appointed, they were 6th. When he got sacked, I believe they were 19th. They ended up getting relegated on the last day of the season. The damage was done. He's spent at DC United in the MLS. He didn't make the playoffs, didn't make the postseason in the American MLS, which is obviously a different league structure to Europe. But it didn't really work at the DC United, where he had been a player, so he knew the ownership, he knew some of the players, he obviously knew the club. Didn't work there. The Derby County experiment, when he was appointed, I think he did a half decent job with the off-field issues that Derby County faced when he was there and all the points deductions. Without those points deductions, they would have been a mid-table side. So I think he did a decent job at Derby, but DC United and Birmingham doesn't set the world on fire. Birmingham was a disaster. Lost the dressing room very quickly. The fan base were not happy with that appointment. Never won them over. The whole thing was a shambles from the get-go. Birmingham obviously ended up getting relegated. Now, obviously, a lot of the anger from the Argyle fans is directed towards the board, the chairman and the ownership, and they are right to be concerned considering his last 2 managerial appointments didn't go very well. In saying that, he may surprise us. He may really do quite well at Plymouth Argyle, but he's going to have a very tough job winning the fan base over. Very, very tough job. They're not overly happy with this controversial decision. Some are willing to give him the benefit of the doubt and see how the first couple of months of the season goes. It's going to be very interesting to see what signings are made in the summer, how active they are in the transfer market, and what player movement, who they can get on loan and on permanent deals. And squad turnover is going to be interesting. But yeah, as I say, the first month or two of the season is going to be crucial if Wayne Rooney can win this fan base over, because at the moment they're not happy with this decision. I don't like that. I like giving managers the benefit of the doubt. And as I say, I think he did a half decent job at Derby with all the off-field issues that were going on. And as I say, without those points deductions, they would have had some half decent mid-table finishes. Actually, his second season, his win percentage was actually higher than his first season. So there was actually on-field improvement, but then the EFL kept deducting points of Derby with all their off-field issues. But as I say, his spell at DC United and his spell at Birmingham were disastrous. But there's a lot of managerial vacancies right now. I mean, Vincent Kompany, for example, looks very likely to go to Bayern Munich. He wasn't their first choice. He was 4th or 5th choice by Bayern Munich since Thomas Tuchel walked out of the club. So there's a lot of managerial movement right now, and the European season technically isn't over. We've got the FA Cup final today. We've got the German Cup final today, DFB Pokal. We've got the other two European finals, Europa Conference League and Champions League next week, and then the European season is finished. So we are seeing manager movement right now. There's managers. I mean, Ten Hag's tenure at Man United could be up as soon as the final whistle at the FA Cup final. There's a lot of rumours circulating that he's basically lost his job. So there's a lot going on in manager movement. But in Wayne Rooney's case, it's a controversial appointment. I have some sympathy for him. I do. Obviously, he wants to make a career in management. You're going to have some missteps on the way. I mean, Brian Clough, for example, great manager, 44 days at Leeds United before he was sacked, didn't work, and then he goes on with Nottingham Forest and has great success, and he had his success at Derby, which got him the job at Leeds United. The damned United, remember? The older viewers might remember Brian Clough at Leeds United in that 44 days of chaos. He might really actually establish himself as quite a good manager in time. But I do say this, great players don't always make great managers. Look at Lampard, look at Gerrard. They've struggled in management as well. Gerrard not as much as Lampard, but they haven't necessarily set the world on fire, although Gerrard had some success in Scotland, arresting some of the Celtic dominance in recent years. But again, struggled at Aston Villa. Lampard had issues at Chelsea, issues at Everton, hasn't really set the world on fire with his managerial appointments either. And Vincent Kompany this season, Burnley got relegated. It just didn't work at Burnley this season, although last season he got them out of the Championship at the first attempt. He had a half-decent spell with Anderlecht, but he hasn't, again, really set the world on fire in management. He's now going to one of the biggest clubs in Europe in Bayern Munich. So there's a lot of managerial movement going on. In Wayne Rooney's case, he's decided to, stick in the Championship and learn his trade at a low level, and that's fine. But his last two appointments didn't go particularly well. And yeah, fans are right to be concerned with the direction their club's taking. But we'll see what happens. What do you think on Wayne Rooney's appointment as Plymouth Argyle manager? Place your thoughts in the comment section below. But for me, for now, thank you very much for watching, and I will have some more content for you guys very, very soon.